In the quiet glow of a Virginia evening, a secret lingered in the Carter household, one that would unravel bonds and test loyalties in ways no one could predict. The scent of rosemary and garlic wafted from the kitchen, where Evelyn Carter, a woman of refined taste and unyielding standards, prepared a meal with meticulous care. Her hands moved with practiced grace, slicing vegetables with precision, yet her mind churned with unease. Something was brewing beneath the surface of her polished life, a tension that would soon spill over and change everything. Everett Cade, her only son, burst through the front door of their sprawling Richmond home, his laughter filling the air as he called out, "Mom, what's cooking?"
"Smells like I'm in for a treat."
His boyish charm was disarming, and despite her stern demeanor, Evelyn's lips twitched into a smile. She knew his flattery was half teasing, but it warmed her heart all the same. "Go wash up, you rascal," she chided, waving a wooden spoon.
"Dinner's almost ready."
Everett, a 30-year-old marketing manager with a knack for winning people over, gave her a quick hug before bounding upstairs. It was their ritual, his warmth softening her edges, a reminder of the son she'd raised alone after long days managing the family's construction business alongside her husband Russell. The Carters were well off, their home a testament to years of hard work, with gleaming hardwood floors and custom chandeliers. Yet, Evelyn's pride lay not in wealth but in her family, especially Everett, whom she'd molded with high expectations. As the family gathered around the dining table, Russell, a gruff but kind-hearted man in his early 60s, joined them, his tie loosened after a day of meetings. The clink of silverware filled the room as Evelyn served roasted chicken and mashed potatoes, her signature dish. Everett, sipping fresh orange juice his mother had poured, caught his father's eye. "So, Dad, how's the business going?" he asked, steering the conversation to safe ground. Russell chuckled, wiping his mouth with a napkin.
"Busy as ever."
"Got a big project coming up, but let's not bore you with that."
"What about you, son?
"How's work? And, any news on the personal front?" His tone was teasing, but his eyes held genuine curiosity. Everett hesitated, his fork pausing mid-air. This was the moment he'd been dreading yet couldn't avoid. "Actually, Dad, I've been meaning to tell you both something." He took a deep breath, his voice steady but soft.
"I'm in love."
"Her name's Lila Harper. We've been together for a while, and I'm serious about her. I'd love for you to meet her soon." The room fell silent. Russell raised an eyebrow, intrigued but neutral. Evelyn, however, froze, her fork clattering against her plate. Her face tightened, and her voice, when it came, was sharp.
"Lila Harper?
Who is this girl? You just started your career, Everett. Marriage is a big step, and I haven't even met her. I always thought you'd consider someone like Clara Thornton. Her family's well-established, a perfect match for us." Everett's jaw clenched, but he kept his tone calm. "Mom, I know you want the best for me, but Lila's the one I love. She's kind, hard-working, and we've known each other since high school. Please, just give her a chance."
Evelyn's eyes flashed with disapproval. "Love isn't enough, Everett.
You need someone who fits into our world, someone I can trust to carry this family's legacy.
I won't have you rushing into so meeting reckless."
She pushed her plate away, her appetite gone.
"I'm done here."
Without another word, she stood and stormed upstairs, leaving a heavy silence in her wake. Russell sighed, placing a hand on Everett's shoulder. "Give her time, son. She's just protective. Let's finish dinner, and I'll talk to her later." Everett nodded, but his heart sank. He knew his mother's stubbornness, and the battle for her approval was only beginning.
Upstairs, Evelyn sat on her bed, clutching a pillow, her mind racing.
She'd always envisioned choosing her son's wife, ensuring a perfect match. Lila Harper, with her modest background, was not part of that plan. But as she heard Everett's footsteps approaching her door, She braced herself for the fight ahead, unaware of the deeper challenges that awaited them all.
The morning sun filtered through the Carter's kitchen window, casting a warm glow over the granite countertops.
Everett, dressed in a crisp white shirt for work, grabbed a bagel from the counter, his mind still on the tense dinner from the night before. He'd spent hours coaxing Evelyn out of her anger, promising to bring Lila home to meet them, but her grudging agreement felt hollow. Today, he wanted to make things right with Lila, to show her she was worth fighting for. He drove to a quaint coffee shop in downtown Richmond, arriving early to surprise Lila. Leaning against his car outside her modest apartment, he dialed her number, a grin spreading across his face.
Hey, you almost ready?
I'm dying to hear your voice. Lila's laugh came through the phone, light but flustered. Everett, we're meeting at the cafe.
Wie halb re you calling me now?
Couldn't wait, he teased. Hurry up, I'm starving for more than just coffee. Minutes later, Lila stepped out, her chestnut hair catching the sunlight. She wore a simple sundress, her hazel eyes sparkling with surprise as she spotted him. You're here, she gasped, rushing into his arms. Couldn't resist, he said, opening the car door for her. They drove to the cafe, where they shared pancakes and laughter, the weight of the previous night easing with every smile. Lila, a graphic designer starting a new job, radiated excitement, and Everett felt his resolve strengthen. He'd make his mother see Lila's worth. That afternoon, Everett stopped by a jewelry store, picking out a delicate heart-shaped pendant necklace for Lila's upcoming birthday dinner at her mother's house. This one, he told the clerk, imagining Lila's face when she opened it. The clerk smiled, she's lucky to have you. At Lila's mother, Grace Harper's, small but cozy home, the evening was alive with chatter and warmth. Grace, a kind-hearted widow who ran a small bakery, welcomed Everett with open arms. Friends filled the backyard, string lights twinkling above a table laden with homemade pies and grilled chicken. Lila's laughter rang out as her friends teased Everett, who took it in stride, his charm winning them over. When he stepped into the kitchen to meet Grace formally, she bombarded him with questions.
So, Everett, what do you do?
How long have you and Lila been together? Her tone was warm but probing, a mother's instinct to protect. Everett answered with ease, I'm in marketing at a construction firm downtown. Lila and I started dating in high school, and I promise, ma'am, I'm serious about her. His sincerity softened Grace, who nodded approvingly. Take care of my girl, she said, patting his arm. As the night wound down, Everett's phone buzzed. Evelyn's name flashed on the screen. He hesitated, but Lila urged him to answer. Mom, what's wrong? He asked, hearing her strained voice.
I'm not feeling well, Everett.
Just a headache, but your father's out, and I'm alone.
Come home soon, okay?
I'll be there, he promised, his heart sinking. Lila, sensing his worry, kissed his cheek. Go to your mom.
I'll be fine.
Back home, Everett found Evelyn on the couch, a damp cloth on her forehead.
Mom, you okay? Did you take a knitting?
I'm fine now that you're here, she said weakly, but her eyes sharpened when he mentioned Lila's dinner. You're still seeing that girl? Everett, I thought we agreed you'd end things.
He sighed, frustration rising. Mom, I love Lila. She's not who you think.
Please, just meet her. Evelyn's expression softened, but her voice held a calculating edge.
Fine.
Bring her over this weekend. If she's as wonderful as you say, I'll consider it. Everett's heart lifted, unaware of the plan forming in his mother's mind. Evelyn had no intention of accepting Lila, but she'd play along for now. The weekend arrived, and Lila stood before her mirror, smoothing her dress with trembling hands. Today, she'd meet Everett's parents, a moment she'd both anticipated and dreaded. Everett arrived to pick her up, his smile easing her nerves. "You look perfect," he said, kissing her forehead. "Mom's tough, but she'll come around." At the Carter home, Evelyn bustled in the kitchen, preparing an elaborate spread of glazed ham and scalloped potatoes, though her heart wasn't in it. Russell, fresh from a morning jog, raised an eyebrow at the feast.
Big D, who?
"You're pulling out all the stops."
Evelyn forced a smile. Just want everything perfect for Everett's gust.
Her tone betrayed her reluctance, but Russell didn't press. When Everett and Lila arrived, the grandeur of the Carter home overwhelmed her. Marble floors, a grand staircase, and crystal vases screamed wealth Lila could never match. Her hands grew clammy, but Everett squeezed them, whispering, "You've got this." Evelyn greeted Lila with a curt nod, her eyes scanning the simple dress and minimal makeup. "So, you're Lila," she said, her voice flat. Lila offered a polite smile. "It's nice to meet you, Mrs.
Carter.
Thank you for having me." Evelyn's response was a single word, "Sure." She turned away, leaving Lila stung by the coldness. Everett, sensing the tension, suggested Lila help in the kitchen to break the ice. Alone with Evelyn, Lila tried to connect. "Can I help with anything, Mrs.
Carter?
"No need," Evelyn snapped, chopping carrots with unnecessary force. "I've got it handled." Lila persisted, picking up a dish to dry, but Evelyn's icy demeanor didn't thaw. When Everett and Russell joined them, Evelyn's attitude shifted, her smile warm and false as she chatted with Lila, fooling Everett into thinking she was trying. At dinner, Lila served food to everyone, a habit from her mother's table. Evelyn seized the moment to criticize. "Lila, dear, using your own fork to serve others? That's not proper etiquette." Lila flushed, mortified. "I'm so sorry, I didn't mean." Everett intervened. "Mom, you do that for Dad and me all the time. It's no big deal."
Evelyn's Eis narrowed.
"It's different, Everett. She needs to learn our ways if she's to be part of this family." Russell, fed up, spoke up.
Evelyn, ease up.
"She's our guest." The tension broke when Evelyn stormed upstairs, claiming she was full. Lila, humiliated, cleaned up silently, ignoring Everett's protests. As he drove her home, he apologized.
"I'm sorry, Lila.
Mom's just set in her ways."
Il always stand by you."
Lila nodded, tears in her eyes. "I know. I just hope she'll see me for who I am someday." Back at Grace's, Lila hid her pain, telling her mother the visit went well. But alone, she wondered if she could ever win Evelyn over, if the cost of trying would break her. Weeks passed, and the Carter home settled into an uneasy rhythm. Lila and Everett married in a small but elegant ceremony at a Richmond vineyard, Lila radiant in a white lace gown, Everett beaming beside her. Evelyn attended, her smile tight, her gift of gold jewelry heavy with unspoken expectations. The joy of the day was tempered by her lingering disapproval, a shadow over their new life together. Lila moved into the Carter home, leaving her job at Evelyn's insistence to focus on family duties. The transition was jarring. Evelyn dismissed the housekeeper, leaving Lila to handle chores alone. Each day, Evelyn found too much salt in the soup, dust on the shelves, laundry folded wrong. Lila bit her tongue, determined to prove herself, but the constant criticism wore her down. One morning, as Lila served breakfast, Evelyn called her into her room. "Lila, about the wedding gold, I'd like to keep it in my safe. It's safer there."
"You don't mind, do you?"
Lila hesitated, sensing a trap, but nodded. "Of course, Mrs.
Carter. I'll bring it over."
"Don't tell Everett," Evelyn added sharply. "He'll think I'm meddling." Lila agreed, though it felt wrong. She wanted peace, but Evelyn's demands grew. One dawn, Evelyn banged on their door, waking them.
Lila, get up.
A proper daughter-in-law doesn't sleep in. I was up at dawn when I was a bride. Everett groaned, Mom, it's 4 a.m.
Let her sleep.
Evelyn huffed, retreating, but her muttering echoed, Wait till I make that girl leave. Lila, awake from the noise, slipped out to cook breakfast, hoping to appease Evelyn. By the time Evelyn rose, Lila had prepared blueberry pancakes, Everett's favorite. Evelyn took a bite and scoffed, too sweet.
Kent you do anything right?
Everett, overhearing, defended Lila. Mom, stop.
She's throwing. Evelyn's resentment festered.
At a neighbor's gathering, she vented to friends. Lila's just after our money. She's playing the sweet girl, but I see through her. Her friend Margaret countered, She seems lovely, Evelyn. Maybe you're being too hard on her. Evelyn dismissed it, her mind set. Back home, she plotted ways to push Lila out, unaware that her actions were about to backfire in ways she couldn't foresee. The Carter family faced a crisis when Russell announced a risky business venture. The company's bidding on a major contract, he said at dinner. It's make or break. I'm thinking of mortgaging the house to fund it. Evelyn gasped, Are you insane?
Wie kultlose Everything.
Everett, torn, supported his father. It's a chance to secure the company's future.
I'm this dead.
Lila, hesitant, added, It's risky, but if you believe in it, we should trust you. Evelyn snapped, You stay out of this, Lila. You're just the daughter-in-law.
Lila shrank back, silenced.
Days later, Evelyn relented but with a condition. Lila must quit her job permanently and stay home. I won't have people saying we can't afford to keep our daughter-in-law. Lila, heartbroken, agreed to keep the peace, though it meant giving up her career. Everett protested, but Lila squeezed his hand, signaling her resolve. She took on all household duties, enduring Evelyn's relentless critiques.
One afternoon, Russell overheard Evelyn berating Lila over a dustitable entscolding tea. Jure useless.
Evelyn shouted. Lila apologized, tears in her eyes. Russell, shocked, realized Evelyn's hostility was worse than he thought. That evening, he returned home, his face grim. Evelyn, the company's bankrupt.
Wie lost Everything.
Evelyn collapsed, overwhelmed. The family sold their mansion, moving to a cramped apartment. Evelyn, bedridden with grief, refused to eat. Lila, despite past slights, cared for her, cooking chicken soup and sitting by her side. Please, Mrs. Carter, you need to eat. Evelyn pushed her away. Why are you still here? You married Everett for money, didn't you? Lila's voice broke. I love him. I'm here for him, for you, no matter what. Evelyn's eyes softened, guilt creeping in. Lila's kindness in their darkest hour forced her to confront her prejudice.
The truth came out one evening when Russell gathered the family.
The company didn't fail, he admitted.
I lied to test you, Evelyn.
I wanted you to see Lila's heart. Evelyn's eyes widened, then filled with tears. She turned to Lila, grasping her hand. I was wrong about you. I'm so sorry.
Lila smiled, forgiving her.
It's okay, Mrs.
Carter.
I just want us to be a family. They returned to their restored home, the rooms filled with laughter as they celebrated. Evelyn, humbled, embraced Lila, her heart finally open. The Carters, once divided, found unity through trials, proving that love could mend even the deepest wounds.